that will, the two sky rotations will part. The Milky Way has come into the centre. It's something we can look out for. So I'm not sure if science will want to let you know about that. They have the best telescopes for finding that sort of thing. But like I've said in the previous video, I don't even think I'll put it up actually. I've had a couple of goes at this. If that turns out to be true, which I'm pretty sure 99% true, and I know all about this moving around, I just know the whole system. If they reveal that, then they're going to open a can of worms, and then their whole cosmology, all their astronomy is all going to be blown off its saddle, because it'll just prove Earth is flat. There's a lot of things going on here. They don't even know about this magnetic field coming down through here. Norse, check that out. Norse mythology describes this whole system like just about on its own, but I came about it with Egyptian and Christian. I'll start reading it. And the Genesis creation of the Hebrew origin of Christian culture. Born creation myths originate with a hollow abyss where anarchy or war cultivates. Hollow abyss. That's a hollow abyss. And also the hollowness of a big vortex in the ocean. Now, how many of you have seen the video by Eric DeBay of the ancient maps and where is it? There it is there. Check that video out. He's done a lot of work there. It takes you right back. It's all been proven. It's there. And all we're done with this picture, this design of mine, I'm the first guy to come up with all this stuff. But anyway, I'll read on. The Norse myth relates a struggle in the middle of the blistering realm of Muspel. What's Muspel? End of the world through fire. Also their spiritual side, enlightenment, when you go through fire you go through me to get to the farthest thing. That's the spiritual thing, the Christian story. End of the world through fire, because this is the black hole. The sun, the vacuum, and the murky, icy realm of Nephilim. Well, that comes into Bethihem too. Nephilim. Darkness, smoke, hell, world of dead. Because everything goes back through here. All energy, once it dies, the energy, spirit, goes back down here to be recycled. To get to the Father, you go to the sun on the way down. To get to the Father, and at a special time, it also includes the solar eclipses. Because this black stuff in here creates the solar eclipses. It's not the moon. Not just the moon. Well, it's not the moon, because the moon goes onto the sun every month and sits in it for 2.2 days at new moon. You don't see it, but it goes quicker around with the sun, then it comes out. Inside the hollowness named Jananga Gap, and that also refers to the other stories of what's the other word? Janganga. It's another mythological story. Other religions. Jagangaba. Well, in this one it's Jananga Gap. And what have we got here? It leads you to basically just a bubble. The only guess at the meaning to this world is magically charged. This is their understanding of that word. They don't really know what it means. So they're magically charged. If it's charged, alright, there's the sun, charging it. Before creation, nothingness. There was nothing till the magnetic field, this vortex, and then under pressure, bam, you get the voltage. So the magnetic field came before the sun. female before male, but it's only when this big bang happened and you got the planets, all life appeared. It just appeared like that. This is the story of creation. Science can't get their head around that. Most people can't. But when you realise your energy, and it all comes about from this energy, it just like that, overnight, for 6 days. Also takes you to the word Ragnarok. Wait till I start reading Ragnarok. Explains the whole thing. Janunga gap, and where nothing could cultivate. No, it was just a downward emptiness, black hole. This is why the Germans went to Antarctica. Everything is written in Norse mythology. Yeah, I reckon. Here we go. We go back to Ragnarok. Ragnarok is a cataclysmic destruction of the cosmos and everything in it. Even the gods, when Norse mythology is considered as a chronological set of tales, the story of Ragnarok naturally comes at the very end for the Vikings. The myth of Ragnarok was a prophecy of what was to come at some unspecified and unknown time and future. No, that's the awakening of man. There's no end times. That's the end time of your old understanding of this silly realm we live in, and you're awoken to the spiritual realm. You're connected with the spiritual world. And you will not know it's going to happen. It explains all that in the Bible. And it happens at a time, and half a time. It's a secret. But it has profound ramifications for how the Vikings understood the world in their own time. We'll explore some of these ramifications below. The word Ragnarok comes from Old Norse Ramnorok, fate of the gods. In the apparent play on words, some pieces of Old Norse literature also refer to it as Ragnarok, Twilight of the gods. And once again, it's this place here. Video before. The event was also occasionally referred to as Aldorf mythology, Tolkien's. Oh, that was the other video too. You think he wrote it? Fate of mankind, and a host of other names. Without further ado, here's the tale itself. Someday, whenever the Norns, those inscrutable spinners of fate, decree it, there shall come a great winter. Old Norse Fimbulvit, sometimes anglicised as Fimbulwinter. Unlike any other the world has yet seen. So it's a divine time. So we're talking about from north. So this September is their winter. But it's all about September. The biting winds will blow snow from all directions, and the warmth of the sun will fail, plunging the earth into unprecedented cold. This winter shall last for the length of 3 normal winters. This is like Christianity, that they've got the numbers fudged to fool you. You've got to know what you're looking at. So when they say length of 3 normal winters, it's 3 days. 3 days in their winter. Wind directly above the sun. And there's the wind, known to be wind to blow through these 2 separated realms. The northern Polaris rotation, the southern, when that parts, the story of the wind coming through, blowing, moving through. This winter shall last for the length of 3 normal days, with no summer in between. Mankind will become so desperate for food and other necessities of life that all laws and morals will fall away. This is meaning you are changing spiritually, leaving only the bear/gap struggle for survival. That's the gap, explaining the gap. Mention the 2 rotations, the Polaris rotation and the southern rotation, that gap there. Orion's belt starts coming through, just comes off the horizon. Which is east, comes from the east and leaves by another route, west, leaving only the gap. All mythological stories are all drama for the simple human mind. One needs spiritual insight to see the true story. You have to go looking for it. And then the average guy will just think you're making something up to fit the story, but that's typical, will be an age of sword and axes. See, the sword and axes. And what does this look like? In the old a weapon, does it look like an axe? And the sword, the double-edged sword, you see in religions, esoteric stuff, coming through there. Orion's belt, the wind, it's coming through there, it's passing through there. It's the Red Sea there. Brother will slay brother. This is the Cain and Abel story. It's the duality, separate, coming into singularity. You kill off the old one. You're now united. It's male and female within. Father will slay son, the son being S-U-N, the old life to wake you up, and son will slay father. This is the solar eclipse where the sun is actually getting killed off. There's divine stuff happening in a solar eclipse. It's being rejuvenated, replaced. It's the whole story in Christianity, all mythology. The wolves, Skull and Haiti. Hades and mock. Hades. See, Hades, skull. Hades, the black again. It's all to do with the solar eclipse. Haiti, I've got mocks here, who have hunted the sun and the moon through the skies since the beginning of time, will at last catch their prey. See, it's when the new moon's getting on the sun, and then they come in on them through the skies, beginning of time, catch their prey. The stars too will disappear, leaving nothing but a black void in the heavens. Yggdrasil, whatever that means. The great tree that holds the cosmos together. There's the tree of life in the middle. Everything is in here. Will tremble, and all the trees and even the mountains will fall to the ground. The chain that has been holding back the monstrous wolf, Fenfir, will snap, and the beast will run free. Jumungand. Here's the Jumungand. Jumunga, whatever, and other stories. The mighty serpent who dwells at the bottom of the ocean and encircles the land will rise from the depths, spilling the seas over all the earth as he makes landfall. These convulsions will shake the ship Nangava free from its mooring, nail ship in brackets. And this goes into some of those Norse mythological stories Eric DeBay's got in his video. The ships, the nails, the magnetic, the rock down here, that big magnetic rock down here, the Russians hid for 6-8 years or something. It's magnetic. It's the something ridge, can't remember now. And you remember the Kursk, the sub that they lost out in the Arctic? It was in the Arctic. If it was metal, steel, they were steel, it might have been because of that. You can believe the story they told you if you want, but if you believe history, the way it's been told, you're a sucker. That's probably what happened. It had something to do with the magnetic, because they lose, they lose all their stuff, radars and stuff in this magnetic field down there. And then also around early, late 50s, early 60s, they started making aluminium submarine, and read all up about that. That's what it would have been for, to navigate this area. An aluminium submarine, not a steel one. I can go into that. I've got that story here somewhere later. Anyway, nail ships in brackets. Free from its moorings, this ship, which is made from the fingernails and toenails of dead men and women, will sail. See, they make all these stories, they dramatise them all to make them sound really bad, and that's the way they spin religion. They make us all evil, when it's only evil to the thick people. If you really understand it all, you'll know what they're getting at and why it's like this. Because the average yobbo is not to know. You've got to be seeking to find the truth. The ship, which is made from the fingernails and toenails of dead men and women, will sail easily over the flooded earth. Its crew will be an army of giants. See? Those are the chosen ones, not really giants. Just chosen men and women, the forces of chaos and destruction, and its captain will be none other than Loki, the traitor to the gods, who will have broken free of the chains in which the gods have bound